Reggae Boys, Jamaica versus Honduras at the National Stadium. The game ended 0-0. It ended 0-0 draw in Group B between Honduras and Jamaica. This is the post-match reaction right here on this platform. And I want to break it down for you, my people. Before I get there, I'm asking you kindly to smash that like button. Get the likes up in this video. Definitely drop your comments below after the video to let me know if you agree with my breakdown, if you agree with what I've seen from the game and what I think needs to change and what is working so far. Also, for those who haven't subscribed to the channel, what are you waiting on? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Become a part of the Next Up Sports Talk family and be a part of everything that we got going on here as we continue to build and grow this channel for you, my people. Thank you to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, for another one, because without him, none of this would be possible. Shout out to each and every one of you that continue to share, to like, and those who have subscribed. Thank you so very much. Now I'm going to break down this game that took place at National Stadium in front of an almost sold out crowd, pretty big crowd, which was amazing to see the Jamaican fans come out and support the team. Now, given all that, the game wasn't really exciting for the fans to get up and clap and cheer. So they did the best they could to kind of give the team life. But the game started off very slow. And it pretty much was slow right through the game. It really didn't have any pace. It didn't have any vibe to it. And so the players had to try and create on the field the best they possibly can. Now, I'm going to start off in the midfield. Why? Because that's what I love to focus on. It is, to me, the engine. It is, to me, the heartbeat. You understand? Yeah, it would make the team go. And I feel like the midfield was non-existent. Now, I'm not calling out any player specifically. I feel like the whole entire midfield today versus Honduras was non-existent. What do you mean by that, Francis? I'm going to tell you. Casey Palmer, Tyreek McGee, Nomo Campbell, non-existent in the midfield. Whenever Latibaudiere, Holgate, or Pinnock, even Lambakisa or Grigley got the ball, there was no action in the midfield. There was no support. Nobody came for the ball to try and create, to go forward, to become a threat, to maybe score a goal or two or three or four. There was none of that, in my personal opinion, from watching the game. But you can let me know if you've seen any activity in that midfield. Anytime the back four would pick up the ball and they would look forward, Honduras players was completely blocking all passing lanes in the central part of the field. No passing lanes, and there was no movement. There was no communication. There was no movement between these players in the midfield for the Reggae Boys. And I felt like that kind of slowed the game down and brought it to a walking pace, which wasn't really good. Now, Coach McLaren trying to get a jolt of energy. He's trying to get some type of life in the midfield. At halftime, decided that he's going to take out, in my opinion, the player that had the most energy, showed the most life, okay on the ball, not too good, but he took out Norman Campbell and brought in Ronaldo Cephas, which is, to me, speed for speed. Cephas is a 1v1. He's going to create for himself. Occasionally, he's going to create for his teammates. But more often than not, when Cephas gets the ball, he's going to put his head down and he's going to go forward. And when he's ready to when he's either stuck, he's going to pick his head up and then square the ball in, hoping that somebody will be on the end of it. So it didn't really work out. Brody and Cairo Anderson kind of late in the game. Wasn't really, at that point, wasn't going to have much of success, much effect on the game. Up front, and Mikel Antonio, Damari Gray, nothing. Matter of fact, a lot of selfish play from those players up front. Mikel Antonio getting the ball instead of trying to create with his teammates. He's looking to be the hero, in my opinion, shooting from further than he's normally used to shoot from my standpoint. And, Damari Gray just was out there. Yes, They game plan for Damari Gray. But specialists, according to Steve McLaren, Coach Steve McLaren, is supposed to do special things. I didn't see that special from Damari Gray. Neither did I see it from Mikel Antonio. And clearly you can see that Tyreek McGee and Bobby Reed, for whatever reason, there's synergy. Yeah, they work together. Their games work together. And it's very important that we understand that their games complement one another. And that, you can tell, was missing today. Casey Palmer isn't really going to run as much as Bobby Reed would so that Tyreek McGee can make those nice through passes or those balls over the top. That wasn't it. Casey Palmer likes the ball at his feet. But today, Casey Palmer, man, he turned over the ball a lot. A lot of them was fouls. The referee wasn't calling it. I give him that. But you got to play through that. And I felt like Casey Palmer struggled whenever he got the ball. He would turn over the ball. He tried to take on one or two defenders. He would turn over the ball. Wasn't really something that the team needed, but we needed to actually find a midfielder that's going to collect the ball, be dominant on the ball, and move the ball into successful areas so that we can be a threat to the opposing goalkeeper. Now, moving to the back line. Holgate, oh my days. What is with, he had at least 10 long balls. He was just kicking the ball away. I mean, the attempt to try to pick out Damari Gray, Mikel Antonio, 4 or 5 times, I'll give him that. But the other 5 or 6 times, he was booting the ball. He was just giving Honduras back the ball so they can start building up the play. Every time he got the ball, he'd kick it away. Ethan Pinnock, he's always solid, but today he made some mistakes in the back line where Andre Blake had to step up and really have a conversation with him to, settle down, make the right plays. Lambakisa, I don't know what is going on with Dexter, but Dexter looked like either got a leg injury or he got no confidence or something is going on with Dexter Lambakisa, but I've never seen him play that poorly in my opinion. Now, if you're going to talk foot speed, foot race, you're not going to beat Dexter. But on the ball, Dexter was really poor today. His passing was poor. His play was poor. He turned over the ball. He got beat a few times. It just wasn't a good look for Dexter Lambakisa. And Greg Lay on the same side. Very good defensively, but offensively was really poor today. Passing wasn't really good. And I know it sounds like I'm being super critical, but we have to discuss the things that are there for everybody to see. And if you can't see it, I'm going to try and point it out to you so you can go back and watch the game, maybe see what I seen in the game. So Greg Lay definitely, didn't concede by giving up a goal, but definitely wasn't the best that we've seen them play, the two left and right backs, in my personal opinion. And Lambakisa, I don't know if he needs to get fitter, but a lot of turnovers between Holgate and Lambakisa. They turned over the ball in dangerous areas, very dangerous areas. The back line, they turned over the ball in dangerous areas, giving Andre Blake more work than he needs. But because Andre Blake is a super goalkeeper, I mean, Andre Blake should be playing in Europe for sure. Somewhere in Europe, he should be dominating football, Mr. Andre Blake. That good of a goalkeeper, in my opinion. But the back line didn't concede a goal because they had a super goalkeeper in Andre Blake. If Andre Blake wasn't back there, I say Honduras probably scored 2 or 3 goals against Jamaica, in my personal opinion, but was bailed out by Andre Blake. So overall, the team didn't play the greatest. Then you brought on some of the bright spots. Kaheem Dixon came in and he tried to do the best he can. He had an opportunity, the closest opportunity, probably the only shot on goal that was, a threat, and whistled by inches by that far post. And he went out there. He had a lot of energy and he tried to do the best he can. Romario Williams came in late, wasn't really effective. Kind of came in. The coach kind of made those changes a little late. I felt like Damari Gray and Mikel Antonio should have came out the game way earlier. In the 75th minute and the 70th minute, I thought those players should have, been on the bench. And then you brought in the Jamaican Anglin. that, brought him in kind of late. You need to get the player an opportunity to get into the game, feel for the game, and understand what the game needs. It's good enough to see it from the sideline, but when you get in the game and you start to feel the pressures, where your quality is needed and where you can do it. So for me, the game was poor, slow pace, nothing really going on. I know Honduras is a tough team, but we've beaten Honduras already a few times. So I don't see the drop off. It was too big of a drop off in performances for my liking. Now, I can't blame the field was poor. The field looked like trash. The field at National Stadium looked like trash. Every time a player went down, it looked like a sinkhole in the field. A sinkhole. You slide tackle, there's so much grass coming up. All you seen was grass. Big divots of grass being dug out by cleats or by bodies sliding or hitting the pitch. Can't have that. But that's not an excuse because Honduras was also playing on that field. And they did the best they could as well. So we can't use that as an excuse for why the Reggae Boys did not play well. And two, it's at home. This is your home field. So you got to get used to your home field and have some type of advantage on your home field. So I'm really stuck on these special players just not being special. The specialists, they weren't special today. Tyreek McGee wasn't really special today. And I can understand, didn't really get no help. But he also looked very tired. They looked very sluggish and very tired early on in the game. From about the 15, 20-minute mark, they look really tired, really sluggish. Like they played 90 minutes the day before, and they're playing 90 minutes today. Look really, really sluggish. But Demarai Gray, not special. Specialist, not special. Tyron McGee, specialist, not special. Mikel Antonio, supposed to be a specialist. Didn't deliver. No specialness that I seen. Dexter, usually a special right back, wasn't special at all, in my personal opinion. Right? Casey Palmer, man, as being the man in the middle, you can really tell Bobby Reed was missing. And I'm not beating down these plays, not beating down, but we have to talk about the things that are obvious. They are obvious to see, and I must point them out because if we're going to be successful going forward, playing against the likes of Canada, the US, Panama, Mexico, we have to work on these aspects of the game. Yes, new coach, getting used to the system, understandable. But I think playing together is more of the issue than it is the quality of the players. I think playing together, trusting each other is very important. I didn't really see too much 1-2s. I didn't see 1-2s. A lot of the 1-2s, the ball is going 3 and 4 feet wide of the player that's supposed to be receiving the ball. So it's either the passing needs to be worked on or the trust that you're going to pass me the ball in the right areas so we can be successful needs to be worked on. But that's what I seen from this game today. This is a game that we should have won by 2 goals. At minimum, we should have won this game by 2 goals. But from the first whistle, it didn't seem like we were trying to score at all. We walked the ball majority of the game, and we played a high line. But we walked the ball majority of the game. We walked the ball up the field. The midfield was non-existent. We didn't have no success in the midfield. Again, these players are supposed to have your matchups. It's 11 on 11. So you have to win your individual matchup. You must win your individual matchup. And I felt like that did not happen today for majority of the Reggae Boys players on the field. But you let me know in the comment section if you agree or disagree. These are all tough games. But you cannot have that type of drop-off going from turf to grass. Even though your grass might not be the best, it's kind of hard for you to have that great of a drop-off. And I would love to know the reason why from these players, why it's such a great of a drop-off. Something is happening that nobody's talking about. Mason Holgate, man, poor today, in my opinion. Poor. A lot of turnovers. Attempt. I give you an A for attempt for trying to pick out those through balls over the top to Demarai Gray and so on and so forth, but not successful. And I feel like working through the midfield has got to be the key. And Coach McLaren has made it very clear. He's looking for players who are dominant on the ball, who want the ball, and who can create with the ball. And today, for the midfield, the ball was hot potato. Hot potato. I don't want it. No, I don't want it. You take it. I don't want it. You take it. No, I don't want it. You take it. I didn't see nobody demanding the ball, on the ball, turning, making moves on the ball. Didn't really see that today from the Reggae Boys. So this is my post-match reaction. We got a draw, so we got to be excited that we did not lose the game and not pick up a point. We picked up a point, but we definitely want to pick up the point in that way. We want to pick up the 3 points against a team that we have beaten multiple times before. Let me know in the comment section if you agree or disagree with what I'm saying. It wasn't the most exciting game. It wasn't the best game for the Reggae Boys, but there's a lot there to build off of. There's a lot to be happy to build off of. And one of those things is finding the right combination in the midfield. That should be the first thing. Number one, find the right combination in the midfield. Because Bobby Reed, almost like Messi, the way he was missed in this game today with his quality, with his pace, his run, his movement, just his workhorse mentality up and down. Bobby Reed was really missed today. And even Damian Lowe seemed like he was missed today with the way that he would normally be able to control that back line and be physical and intimidate the Honduras forwards. They didn't seem too intimidated today. And it showed in the game. It showed in the game. It showed in the result in us getting a draw with a team that we have beaten multiple times before. We beat up Honduras enough time for us to come and draw with them is not good. It's not good. But we'll take the point. We'll take the point and we move on to the next stage. We can't have these games against Canada and against the US and against Mexico. We can't have this type of games against these teams going into the next round, going into the quarterfinals, going into the next international break. It has to be better. So it's important that these players go back to their club, work on their fitness, work on their confidence, work on their game, because that really isn't it. Really, really tough game to watch. Tough to watch the boys perform like that, knowing that they could perform a lot better. A lot better. We've seen them perform a lot better. But the mixture today of players didn't work against Honduras. And the game was flat, flattity flat, flat. The game was flat. A lot of walking. I've never seen a football game with so much walking. The players are walking so much, especially in the midfield. Just walking. We gone back to long ball. We gone back to kicking the ball from the back line to the front line, hoping that something will happen when we're trying to play through the middle. We're trying to play through the middle. We're trying to dominate the middle of the park. We're trying to dominate the middle of the field. If we can dominate the middle of the field, then we can dominate the game. And Coach Steve McLaren has made it very, very clear. I'm looking for players who want the ball, who can dominate the ball, who can create with the ball. Let me know in the comment section if you agree or disagree with my post-match reaction. I thought it was a poor game, but there's good things to build off of going into the next game. It is not all lost. We're not going to throw out the baby on the bathwater. We still got things we can work on. I got to be happy with the 1 point. It's better 1 point than no point. It's better 1 point than no point. But I'm going to catch you on the next one. Stay blessed. Stay blessed. Stay safe. And I'm going to catch y'all on the next one. I'm outie.
It's next up, sports talk, yeah, homie, now that's us. You ain't tuning in, then you're hustling backwards. We always keep it poppin', tell your partner to slide through. Every sporting event, hit us up and we got you, cause we what? Next up, next up, yeah, next up, next up, yeah, next up, next up, next up, next up, next up. Next up, sports talk. Don't even trill, homie, we got you. Yeah.